Hello.
Hello.
Hey everyone.
Oh, let's put it to that view. That's nicer.
Ah, nice.
There we go.
I like that.
How are we all?
guys
Welcome
doing?
to another week of the Happy Hour, Supabase Happy Hour live stream every week. We got Andrew live in the chat. Andrew, you should just come join us live on the stream. Just log into StreamYard and we'll add you in. Cookify Media is joining us again. Welcome back.
Nice.
George is
Welcome.
joining us again. Micro Panda. We have some awesome regulars joining us each week. This is very exciting.
It's amazing.
Welcome to episode 17, and I've lost track of what the seasons are. Let's say season 2, episode. We're probably up at 9.
7, 8, 9. Yeah, something.
Yeah,
like
I was
that.
telling people that we were on, Supabase Happy Hour 16 today, but no, it's 17.
17.
It's hard to keep track. Weeks
It's
just fly by.
It means we've
Yeah,
been doing
it
this
really
for
does.
17 weeks. Or we had episode 0, so we've been doing this for 18 weeks now, which is very cool. It's a lot of weeks.
I like how the count starts from 0. Very professional.
Yeah. Index 0, Supabase
Index
Happy
0.
Hour episodes. Yeah. Micro Panda's not going to be able to join us live anymore. That's no good. Is this an inconvenient time? So it's 2 a.m. for you. That makes sense. But what we found is that 2 a.m. is perfect dev time. That's the sweet spot that everyone seems to join us at. But yeah, we'll be sad that you won't be able to join us live. But anyone who wants to watch the Supabase Happy Hour who can't join us live, it is available forever on YouTube. So if you check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/Supabase, you will be able to watch it anytime you want. So whatever time is the happiest hour for you, or even the saddest hour if you need a little cheering up and you need someone to make it a happier hour, we're here for you.
For sure.
So if this is your first time joining the happy hour, what we do is we just hang out for not an hour. We hang out for a couple of hours, and usually more than a couple of hours each week, just because we enjoy building fun stuff in a casual way. And so for the last however many it's been, maybe 8 streams, we have been building out a SaaS platform where we are SaaS-ifying a journal entries app. So the ability to enter in what you did each day and add some media, like a photo that reminds you of something that you did that day. And we will be looking at implementing different payment tiers that kind of unlock different features or allow you to store a different number of journal entries. But last week we took a little left turn and did a special hackathon, a hackathon spectacular, a hackstacular, where we tried to build an app in 2 hours, and using a whole bunch of new stuff that none of us had played with yet, that had launched throughout Supabase launch week. And yeah, some of it went okay, and some of it went catastrophically badly. But it was fun, and we got an app into production. It wasn't the app we were intending to go into production, but we got there. We built most of it. But yeah, I wanted to do some follow-up. I don't have the code base open, but yeah, I had a little play because I was wondering why, if you did watch the last stream, we couldn't get the real-time stuff working properly, the new real-time stuff. And we thought it was something to do with React strict mode, which has now been resolved. So in RC5, Wembo has resolved all of the React strict mode stuff, which is very cool. So I tested it out by yeah, I won't bother opening up the code base, but I started a new next project and brought in, just did that same install Supabase JS at RC command to install the latest release candidate version of Supabase JS. And then everything was just working. So anytime I changed anything in the database, I was getting those events. So yeah, may have been the RC3 that we were running, may have been something else. But yeah, I tested with a brand new Remix application and a brand new Next.js application, and it was working perfectly fine. So
Nice.
yeah, hopefully you have the same experience. If you're watching it later and you try to install it, then obviously it'll install the latest RC version of Supabase. So hopefully it will just work perfectly. But you don't even know what we are, who we are, what we're doing. So this is the Happy Hour, Supabase Happy Hour, where we build cool stuff. My name is Jon Meyers. I'm a developer advocate from Supabase.
I'm Tyler, and I'm also a developer advocate at Supabase.
And I'm Alaister, still not a developer advocate at Supabase, but here all the same, but joining in on some sketchy Wi-Fi today.
Ooh,
So
why are you
we'll
on
see how we
sketchy
go.
Wi-Fi, Alaister? Whereabouts in the world are you?
Oh, I'm in Bali.
Ooh,
Yeah, Bali. I don't know if you
Beautiful.
can see, there's some nice, it's probably a bit bright out the back there. Yeah,
Very
It is nice.
It's quite warm in this room though.
I was a little disappointed when I
here. So
I was a little disappointed when I joined the stream and you weren't doing it from the pool. I thought it would be very appropriate to do a Supabase Happy Hour.
you know,
Streaming from the pool.
I think I should have been sitting in the pool for this one because it is quite warm and that would be quite cooling.
Yeah.
That'll be
Well,
nice.
let me share my screen. If you were not aware and for some reason you were very far away from Twitter or just any platform, you may not have heard that last week was the week before. Wait, which week are we? No, yeah, last week was Supabase
Yep.
launch week number 5. And so, yeah, we basically released a new feature each day. We released heaps of stuff. Day 1, we did CLI and the admin API. So now you can manage your Supabase projects from the Supabase CLI, which is very cool. Supabase JS v2, which kind of encapsulates all of our different client libraries. We've basically pushed all of those to version 2, or we've released a release candidate version of that, which will be getting deployed to stable v2 over the next couple of weeks. We launched a whole bunch of security, compliance, and enterprise features. We added a whole bunch of cool stuff to real time, so the ability to broadcast events and subscribe to people's presence within the application. So lots more like peer-to-peer stuff, which is very cool. You should go check that out. It kind of enables multiplayer development. So anything where you have like a collaborative workspace, like a Notion or a Slack or like Figma or something
maybe?
like that. I guess Slack is the wrong example, but yeah, Figma, Google Docs, any of those like collaborative workspaces. We've unlocked or released some features that really unlock those, the abilities to make those kinds of apps, which is really cool. And then Community Day, a whole bunch of stuff from our community, including a new release candidate version of the Flutter SDK, which is very cool. Something Tyler's been
That's nice.
working very hard on. And also a new Egghead course about how to cache Supabase data at the edge
nice.
using Cloudflare Workers and KV storage. So if you want to check this out, it is a free course which you can take on Egghead. So even if you're not a pro subscriber, go and learn how to cache Supabase data at the edge with Cloudflare Workers and KV storage and why you might want to do that. All right. As a part of that whole launch week, we also ran a concurrent hackathon. And today we launched.
Depends on where you live, I guess.
It does. We announced the hackathon winners. And so we had a whole bunch of different categories for things like best overall project, most visually pleasing, most technically impressive, most fun and interesting, most best Flutter project, most realist timest project. And yes, so we announced all of the awesome projects. So I recommend you go check out this blog. But Tyler, did you have a favorite of these that you wanted to quickly give a plug for?
Ooh, yeah. So the best overall project is obviously, a favorite of all our teammates, and it was just amazing. So basically, what this does is, it's a library that wraps around your Supabase JS client, and it automatically turns your Supabase query into a cache key. So you can just use your Supabase query like it is, and it'll automatically cache the result. And you can also write to the cache, not only read. So yeah, it's a very very convenient project, and really excited for that. How it evolves over time in the future as well.
Yeah, it is amazing. I really liked the I think it was the most technically impressive this
Mm,
authenticator app using Supabase. So if you've ever used like Authy or anything like that to do multi-factor authentication, so Authentic, Ripandi, Aris Ripandi has built this awesome authenticator using Supabase, which is very, very cool. But yeah, recommend you go and check out this blog to see all of the hackathon winners. We're also shouting loud about it on Twitter, so go and like and share that stuff so people can see all of the cool things that people spent probably a lot of time last week building because they all look
yeah,
amazing. And this was
they were
the
all really amazing.
yeah, our highest number of submitted projects. So we had 46 submitted projects, which is pretty amazing that 46 either individuals or groups were able to pull together a ready for production application with very little notice, because usually we run the hackathon the week after launch week, and so running it side by side, like I don't think people were expecting it to drop or start when it did. So having 46 submitted projects is very cool. And if you want to go and check out not just the projects that were submitted for this hackathon, but also every hackathon, you can go and check out Made with Supabase. So madewithsupabase.com is an awesome community-run project that basically showcases all of the applications that have been built with Supabase and all of the cool things that you can do. So if you're looking for an idea for something that you might want to build with Supabase, I recommend you go check out Made with Supabase to see what is possible.
By the way, the one that you have your cursor on right now, Spot, that's made by me. If you want to check out a
Hey,
cool Flutter application built with Supabase and
very
Flutter,
nice.
yeah, this is a nice example that you might want to check it out.
Geotagged
Little,
videos, very cool. I haven't actually seen this. I know the name. The name rings a bell, but I've never used it. I'll have to check that out. That's awesome.
yeah. It's available on iOS and Android, so you can actually download it. It's like out there on the App Store.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, should we get into SaaSifying our application? Is Alaister finally going to
Yeah.
let me SaaSify it?
Well, you have to remind me where we got to last time, John, because I can't remember.
Yeah,
It's been
it
too
has been a
long.
while. I definitely should have refreshed myself with where we were up to in our application. But we were building a journal entries app. So let's start by running our local development server. And this is starting up over port 8787 because we're building a Remix application that we're going to deploy to Cloudflare. Oh, that's right. Oh, we had
It's
an
so beautiful.
amazing styling PR. Oh, actually, we should we should check whether there
Check
are
out the
any
PR, right?
new PRs. Happy days. No PRs right now, but Jason Walker submitted this amazing PR that built this beautiful pricing page, has basically done all of the styling of our application. Because what we were trying to do this time is not focus on styling. Unfortunately, we still need to focus on types, but we'll get there. Eventually, we'll be able to just have the community submit PRs to just type our entire application. But yeah, we've been trying to focus on kind of the functional side of it and the dev side of it, and not so much on the visual aspect, because we thought that would be a really good opportunity for people in the community to open PRs if you've never built anything with open source, or you're looking to get your contributions up, or even just get some feedback from us. This would be an awesome project to do it for. So yeah, if you want to clone down the project, again, it's at it's under my account. So Dijon Musters /happy-days. You'll be able to fork it and then open a PR to merge those changes in.
And then
I have a branch with a few tweaks. I was hoping others would contribute. You're our superstar designer, our superstar design contributor. But yes, we will hook you up with some swag and shout you out at the start of the episode. And review your PR on the stream so we can see what the community is building and all the exciting things that are being added to this project. So we have the ability to add entries. So this is, and I think down the bottom here, these were where we had actual images. But yeah, we have a list of all of our entries. You can see that these are all definitely test records. And we can click into one of these and we can edit it and we can update the content to say real content. And then when we submit this, it's going to give us an application error.
Classic.
Yeah, this may be new row violates the security policy for table objects. Oh, right, because we're trying
to using images
overwrite with no image, I think, or maybe it's trying to delete the images. If only we had someone who worked on the storage team a little while ago. But I reckon
I can't remember what we were doing.
I reckon if we were to add an image here and say real content and submit this again, this would take a while to upload that stupidly massive file that I just gave it. But eventually it will redirect us to here where we can see our real content. So that's been updated. And then back on our listing page, our real content has been updated as well. So so that error would actually be an awesome PR if anyone wants to track down what's going on there. It looks like maybe when we don't give it any images that it is crashing. So maybe we shouldn't be uploading or trying to upload any images or doing any image stuff if we don't actually have a file, would be my first guess. But let's not waste time on that during the stream. We can also add a new entry, which is just like the edit form. And we've got authentication set up with GitHub. Wait, did we do GitHub? Let's find out. If we log out, we got log in with GitHub. And so this is all wired up to use third-party auth through GitHub. And so I think last time we were working on this, we were going through a whole bunch of the file upload stuff. I think that was the main thing that we were working on, was getting images uploading and then images displaying in the list page. So this list page here, and then having this fallback default image if we don't have an image uploaded, and then also displaying it on this page. So I think we now have our kind of structure for an application. We're now able to add entries. We're able to update them. So what we would like to do now is SaaS-ify this whole thing. So making it possible to charge people for a monthly subscription to be able to add more entries. So I think we already have a pricing structure.
Pricing plan, huh?
Yeah, so we have for the basic
package.
We
also create the user in Stripe?
Yes, good call. So the other thing that we do is we created a Edge function here using Supabase Edge functions, which basically anytime we set up a chain of things, but eventually what happens is this Edge function gets called and we go and create a new Stripe customer. So this ends up being called anytime a new user signs into our application. So if they're creating a new account, so it's the first time they've clicked that sign in button with GitHub, when it creates a new account on the Supabase side, we then go and create some new user data for that that user, so some additional data that we can store about them, including a Stripe ID or a customer ID. We then automate the process of going off to Stripe, creating this customer, and then we update the Stripe customer ID field with our Stripe customer. So all of this happens in the background. As soon as a new user signs in, all of this automation process kicks off, and we end up with a customer in Stripe system that maps to a customer in our Supabase system. So now that we have a Stripe customer, we want to be able to charge them for stuff. So what should we start with? Should we start with... so I guess there are a couple of things that we need to do. Look, we could write a list again. This worked well last time. We need to create those products in Stripe, and maybe update the pricing page to pull them in from Stripe. So if we update them in Stripe, it's updated on our pricing page. If we change one of the prices or change the name of the plan or something like that. We also need to create an edge function to charge a customer and update their plan. So update them from a like if they're going from the basic package to the pro package or something like that. And yeah, I guess we need some row level policies that block the user from doing things above their payment tier. So if we have someone...
Sorry, go ahead. No,
if we have someone on like the basic plan and they're trying to upload their 11th project, or 101th or whatever it was, then that's right, 101th. Then we want to block them with a row level policy. We did lose Alaister for a second, but it looks like he's back.
It's actually funny because my camera was telling me it was too hot and then it just turned off.
Oh.
So
nice.
I'm gonna open a window because it's
vibes. Are you sure you don't want to move to the pool, or maybe just like quickly go and dive in and then come back?
Move to the pool. I don't think that would be very professional.
I think everybody would love to see that though.
Yeah, I don't think the happy hour is in need of being the most professional thing that we do. It's the happiest thing we do. I feel like a pool is much happier than
we also
he's
need
even
to...
wearing a shirt. Like he is. This is more professional than he's ever looked on a happy hour live stream. I don't know what's going on here.
That door's definitely going to bang closed and scare me in about a minute.
I'll say you're wearing a button-up shirt and you're talking about being professional. What's going on here?
It's it's nice and light. It's hot. Yeah, I think in about half an hour you'll see me in the pool.
Good stuff. All right. So
do you also
what do we want to start?
Edit the table? Edit
Sorry?
the table to add a column for like, I don't know, paid status or something, tier status, paid tier. Do we already have that?
I don't think we do. I think if we have a look at our Supabase project, bring this over here. Oh, not wish list. That was our special happy hour, our special hackathon project. All right. All projects. Down the bottom, we have happy days. So I think currently we have an entries table. So this is where we're storing those entries. And then we have user data. So this is where we're storing the additional information about our users, like the Stripe customer ID. Yeah, I guess our user data, we probably want some kind of subscription level with maybe like a default value of null. That's a good default value. Or should we do default value free? Ooh, should we do an enum?
Enums.
Oh, yeah.
Enums.
Let's do that.
Love enums. All right. So there is currently no way to declare an enum in the table editor here. But what we can do is we can declare one using SQL if we remember the syntax.
How to create.
Create type enum. No, create type payment tier. Alaister, you have to help me out here.
I think it's create type.
Subscription tier.
Yeah.
Subscription. No, that's not the part that I need help with. I need help with the SQL.
As enum. So it's as enum.
Oh, you've got it.
Yep. Yep.
As
enum.
Enum.
And then parentheses, like regular parentheses, and then call in values in there. Yeah.
You do them as like
maybe
strings?
single colon?
Single quotes, yep.
Yeah, single quotes.
So we would have free, and then maybe basic. Oh, actually, you've already been named.
Oh, do you want to go uppercase,
standard,
or should we stick to all lower cases?
What's
What's the best practice here, Alice? Is it snake case as well?
I go all like screaming snake case, whatever it's called.
Okay.
Oh, like all uppercase.
All lowercase.
All lowercase.
Yeah, I go all uppercase usually with underscores.
Yeah, let's scream it. Except none of them have 2 words, so we won't get the underscores. But do we want to go basic, standard, and premium, or do we want to go free, basic, and pro?
That's just.
I think the free one should be called free.
Okay.
The free one should be called free.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Then maybe standard and premium. We'll do a mix. Some of ours, some from here. So standard and premium.
I guess this could be a pull request as well.
Yeah. So we can. Oh, actually, well, when we go and create these, we'll go and create these products in Stripe, and then I guess we'll dynamically pull them in for that landing page. I think.
Oh, right.
So we're creating a type subscription tier as enum, blah, 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 blah. So basically, we're creating a new type called subscription tier. So now we'll be able to assign one of our columns to be a subscription tier type. And then we're declaring it as an enum, which just means that it's a like finite list of values that this column could be. And we're giving it 3 values. So free, standard, or premium. So if we tried to make this column like write a value to this column of like freemium, then it would say no, that's not a thing. You can only have one of these 3 values. So let's run that one. We get success, no rows returned, which is a good message. And then our user underscore data, we want to add a new column, and this one is going to be our subscription status. Subscription tier. Oh no. And then when we go to our type, you'll now see that there's this lovely user-defined enumerated types section that's been automatically added for us, and we can see our subscription tier is there. And the default value for this one, so this is where we specify which one of those values we'd like it to be. So we're going to set this to free. And I'm going to see whether we need those quotes around it or whether it just magically works.
Oh, right.
So we don't want to allow this to be nullable because we have a default value. So it should always be free or one of those other values. And now when we save, are we going to get yelled at? No, we're not going to get yelled at. Excellent.
Nice.
Magic.
And now we have our subscription tier. So as I was saying before, if we did try to make, well, we can't even, it's not even a free text field here. But if we were writing SQL and tried to update this value to something that wasn't one of these 3, why is null there? Boom.
Because someone on the front end team needs to fix it.
Add it to the list, Alaister. But yes, we can now choose between these different packages. So if we wanted to have a standard subscription or a premium subscription, they're all listed here, which is good.
Nice.
All right. So do we want to add these to our Stripe products and then pull them in to our pricing page?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Sick. All right. let's go to Stripe and let's see how many times I leak my mobile number or any kind of my own sensitive information. That's fine. You can have my email address.
I want your credit card number, Jon.
Okay, we'll pull it up in a second.
That's what I'm after.
Cool. So we're on our correct little tenant here. So we wanted to create some products, I think they're called in Stripe land. So we're going to add a product for free.
So are we going to, okay, so we're going to change the string here. It's not going to be all uppercase.
Oh, yeah. It just seems so yelly. I feel bad every time I write it.
I like the enum for the database, but just normal here, right? And like you could even call it like free plan, or I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess in CSS we can just uppercase it if we if we want to change how it looks on that
Makes
on
sense.
our pricing page. Yeah. All right. So this is going to be a recurring payment. This is what I was looking for. So yeah, so our pricing can be whatever we want to charge for this. So this is set to AUD, which if you're anywhere else in the world other than Australia might look weird because that's not your local currency. So feel free to change this to whatever you would like. Do we want to go USD? Do we want to?
Why not?
Yep,
We'll
let's do
show
that.
our US friends some love.
The universal currency. So we've got USD. How much do you reckon our standard pricing would be? So this would be our first like paid tier.
I thought this was free.
I thought this was free.
Type in free.
Oh yeah, free. In that case, we don't need. Wait, how does this work? Because this would just be $0. Is that the thing? I guess so.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Let's bill them $0 monthly. Okay, save product. So yeah, so we now have this free product, which is $0 a month. Actually, yeah, no, we do need this because they'll yeah, what we will eventually do, hopefully in this episode, we'll see how we go for time, but the user will be able to manage their own payment tier and their own like all their billing information. They'll be able to do all of that from what's called the Stripe customer portal, which is a cool UI managed by Stripe, and we can just kick off that flow from our application, and they just go and make whatever changes they want in Stripe, and then Stripe's going to send us webhook events to say, hey, this thing changed, charge this customer this much, this thing changed, and we'll just update our database accordingly. So yeah, so nice. we want all of those different payment options to be in the in that list of products that they can choose from. So we want to add another product, and this one is going to be standard.
Standard.
This one is going to be $10 a month, $20 a month, $100 a month, $50,000 a month.
If we go with the landing page, I think it was $4.99, but I guess we can change the pricing. But
I forgot that the pricing's been done for us as well. That's amazing. Thank you, Jason. You rock. We want this to be USD, and this is going to be a recurring monthly payment. And yeah, there we go. Save. Oh yeah, I could have clicked save and add more. Our last product is going to be our premium product. And this one is going to be $9.99 USD. It'll be a recurring monthly payment, and we'll save that product. Cool. So we now have our 3 products in Stripe. So let's pull them into our application and have a look at what we get. So over in our app, our pricing page is probably app routes index.tsx. Yeah, cool. And so these are just hard-coded values. And so what we want to do is we want to dynamically get these from Stripe and then display them on this page. So to do that, we're probably going to need a loader. So we are going to See, this is interesting because these prices aren't really being fetched on behalf of a user. These are...
That's fine. We could just use a normal loader with our server-side Stripe client, right?
Did we create a service one?
Oh, no, just like probably because we updated something or other, created a user in Stripe.
Oh, no, this is Stripe. What am I
normal.
thinking? I was thinking like Supabase and row-level security and whether we're going to use a service key. All right, easy. So we are going to export const loader. And this is going to be an async function. And just in case this is upsetting anybody, I'm going to refactor this as a arrow function because I will just naturally write arrow functions. Can't change me. And this one is going to be index. All right. So we have a loader. And so, yeah, if you're not familiar with Remix, which is what this web app is, anytime you want to do some server-side stuff, so if you want to do, basically run like a serverless function, then you declare either a loader or an action. So a loader is for fetching data, and then an action is for everything else. So any kind of post or delete or put request. And so since we want to fetch this data before loading our component, we use a loader. So this runs immediately before the server renders our component. And so before the user sees anything, this loader runs. We go and get those prices from Stripe. And then, they're available on that first render when our user lands on that page. So we're going to need to do some stuff. Have we installed Stripe in our actual app? I don't think we have.
I don't think so.
No. Okay, cool. So
how do we create a user in? Oh, not in our actual app. Sorry, I'm forgetting.
Yeah, so that's in the Edge function.
function.
So this has its own.
Nice.
Like this is just loading Stripe directly from a URL, whereas we need to install it in our app, which is easy. We just say npm install. I'm pretty sure it's just the Stripe package. And that very soon. And maybe we'll just quit this one and just do it all over here. Okay. Now we should be able to say, I guess we import our, what am I doing? Import our uppercase Stripe function from Stripe. A little worried why I don't have autocomplete there, but it'll be fine. And then we can, I think, create a new Stripe client by calling that Stripe function and passing it in our Stripe secret key, which
you just need a new keyword at the beginning of that. Of
course. Yeah, good. Which we haven't yet set up because again, we set up all of this to use our Stripe key from our Dino environment, but we haven't set this in our local environment. And I'm not allowed to show you this one because this one is a secret value. Where is our .env?
I'm not sure how this will work because it's Remix and we're using Cloudflare workers because we didn't want to make it easy for ourselves. So it could be interesting.
That's why we don't have a .env file. Wait. How are we making a request to Supabase? How is this app? Who built this app? This thing's amazing. All right. Utils, Supabase. So we do have some keys.
We spent like a whole episode doing it. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. While Tyler was screaming at us, just use the strings. It doesn't actually matter. You're not doing anything here. You're just wasting time. But we wasted a whole episode getting there. But yeah, so we can still just we can use this on the server side. So in our root, what we're doing is we have a loader that's just basically Oh, right. So these are just available. That's right. I remember now. Yes, we're using Cloudflare. So what we did is we specified them in, we like created a new secret in Cloudflare. Is that what we did?
I think
We
it was
definitely
saved
put
in
them
one of the
somewhere.
files. Yeah, it's defined somewhere. Do you just want to like do a search with your? Yeah.
Wrangler.toml.
Oh, wrangler.toml. All right, cool. Do we have anything in there that we shouldn't? Nah, it's just the URL and a non-key. All right, cool.
But
So
the trouble is we commit this file, right? So we
yeah.
can't put any secrets in here. So there is another way to do secrets. I just can't remember what it is.
Well,
I think,
using
you can set them in the Cloudflare dashboard, but how do you do it locally?
you can go like this and go Stripe secret equals, oh wait, no, just like that. I'm just not sure if this is like technically a Wrangler project, but if we say, so let's just test.
Yeah, then maybe just try to figure it out in the application. That'd be cool if that all worked magically, but
the problem is you need to run like Wrangler dev, and I don't know if this npm run dev thing wraps that. I'm assuming not. Oh, we've broken everything. It's all over.
Yeah, it's mini flare, isn't it?
Address already in use. Oh yeah, of course we're doing that over here. Yeah, right. So it's not probably not using Wrangler and wiring up the whole dev environment and stuff.
I think with Miniflare you can just create a .env file.
Okay.
That's what I'm. So maybe, yeah.
Let me just see if we can do Stripe. Anyone remember what I called that environment variable?
Nope.
Secret key, Stripe key, something like that. Stripe secret. All right. I can just see if it is available on the server side. So now if I refresh this page, it's going to run our loader, which is saying that it's not defined. So, all right. So you're saying we can just create a .env?
I believe so.
.env and populate this with stripe underscore secret equals hello. And then we restart our server here. Now, if we refresh, loader route did not return anything. That is a good error and a very correct error because we didn't return anything, but we can return null.
And I'm seeing hello there in the console.
Sick. All right, cool. So, all right, looks like that is working.
Nice.
And then we don't commit that. How will we get that in prod? But we'll work that out later. Well, yeah, we'd just specify it as an environment variable in prod, right? Yeah. Yeah, it'll work. It'll be fine.
Hopefully.
All right, so I'm going to quickly take this off screen. Firstly, I'm going to stop console logging this out. Then I'm going to take this off screen and put the real value in there. And these two are going to sing a duet while I do that.
We're going to provide some form of entertainment.
Some form.
Who knows?
Oh God, what can we say?
So far, not entertaining.
We'll just defer to chat to.
Oh yeah, bring up some chat comments. Sorry, we've ignored you so far.
Oh yeah,
there's lots of things. All right, give me a sec.
Yeah,
I think Tyler's got the buttons.
It feels wrong not to. Yeah, okay. Uppercase versus lowercase versus snake case, maybe kind of situation. Yeah,
it could be one of the old tabs versus spaces arguments. It all works.
And then MicroPanda is also saying that $1 million for standard, people will have to choose between the golden Supabase cap or the standard plan of Happy Days, which is fair. Yeah, you can actually. So the hackathon that we just announced the winners of, every single winners will receive a golden cap, and you can actually go buy that golden cap in our Supabase swag store, except it costs $1 million. So, if you want to spend $1 million and pretend that you were a hackathon winner, you can go ahead and do that. But yeah. Then hello for Germany. Hi. It's good to have you here, and I'm
We
sure it's
love
a very
Germany.
inconvenient time. Then,
Actually, that's a good question.
What's a good question?
2:46 a.m. in Germany.
Oh, wow. 2:46.
Wow.
Sounds like a happy hour. Then yeah, Michael Panda saying hello, neighbor. Michael Panda is from Poland. Nice. So yeah,
How are we
we
doing
have
there,
quite a
John?
few folks from Europe.
All right. Stalling done. All right. We have
Nice.
added this in, and I think I closed the file. I don't know if it leaks. Make sure you do something fun with it. So we have actually. Let me just make sure this is gray. It's gray, so it's not being committed. All right. So we should now have this Stripe secret key, which is in our .env file. So all I did was update that value hello to something else, and then or
Did you
test
change the name then to Stripe secret key as well?
Well spotted. You passed the
I don't know.
test.
We weren't watching,
Mhm.
so. The other thing you can do here is go and copy the code from like the root file that tells TypeScript that it's a thing.
Oh yeah, good call. From Supabase functions index.ts.
No, I think it was root.
Oh.
Root.tsx, because we did it for. Or where did we? Client
Do you mean
server
for Stripe?
entry. We saw it before when you were
It's
clicking
where
through
we
them all.
like copied it over to the window variable, right?
Yeah, right, of course. In root. Oh, you mean in the Supabase? Wait, what? Do you mean this one?
Like,
Yeah, that one,
oh, yeah.
declare global.
Right. to tell it to shut up and stop complaining. So this one, const stripe secret will be there. Now, why aren't we adding it here as well?
Because we don't want to expose that to the client.
That's right. Yes. So anything that we put on the window is exposed to the client, which is what we want for our Supabase URL and our Supabase anon key, so that we can use our Supabase client on the client. But we don't want to expose our Stripe secret key, because that secret key is the secretest of keys. Also, I wanted to say, if you don't know where to find that on this landing page, it's just down here, secret key. And then if you click reveal secret key, it will show it to you. If you're not on that page, you can go to developers, and then in your overview, it's also there. So yeah, that's the secret key that we've put in as this value. Cool. So
Amazing.
yeah, so here we're just saying this will be defined. So don't tell me that it's not defined, which doesn't seem to be the problem here. The config was not provided. You don't need a config. Have an empty object if it makes you happy. Cool. So I was just I just wrote out this part. So we're just grabbing all the customers just to prove that the Stripe part is working, and then we're just console logging them out. We're still returning null, so not getting anything in the front end, but just to see whether our Stripe key has worked correctly and everything is plumbed up, which it doesn't look like it is. XML HTTP request is not a constructor. Do you mean
So if you look at how we set up the other one in the Supabase Edge functions, because we're running this in a kind of Edge function environment as well, I think we need to pass in an HTTP client like we did for this one, because it's trying to use the normal standard XML HTTP request thing.
Cool.
I'm not sure what the specifics would be for Cloudflare though. Like, I don't know if we want target Dino, because it's not Dino, but it might work. Who knows?
Right. And we definitely should have just called it Stripe key, rather than having two environment variables that mean the same thing. But that's fine. So const stripe equals colon stripe.
I think you need a new keyword.
Well, we don't have it over in this one.
Yeah.
Like, that's coming in from, I think, probably the same library. But yeah, maybe it does need new. Let's see. Index.
You've got an extra closing parenthesis after stripe secret.
Not that one.
Stripe secret, closing parenthesis. Nice. And then, yeah.
Good call.
Now what's it yelling at us about?
Value of
new.
types.
Oh yeah, you got rid of new.
Yeah, okay. So we do need new. Why do we not need new in Dino?
Yeah, that's
weird.
Very weird. Very, very weird.
API version is the other thing we need, but it should just be set to like one string that it will fill for you.
API version. Boom.
Don't let Stripe Copilot set it. Let the auto suggest set it. As in, start typing a string and it should tell you the value. And control space or whatever Tyler's shortcut is. That's the one.
Ooh.
Magic. No more errors.
Awesome. All right, cool. So we just want to make sure that this is actually giving us... Why is this one red now? Come on. Oh, yeah, no, that was always red. Let's ignore that one. All right, let's see if we refresh this. Sorry, the reason that
we know
was
what we're
red,
doing.
The reason that this is red, just so it doesn't fill you with fear, is that this is... we need to declare this as a Dino project to be able to fix all the red here. Because Supabase Edge functions wrap around Dino, but because we added this as an embedded folder within our application, so you could just have like all of your Edge functions outside of your app. If you did that, then you could declare this as a Dino project. But if we declare this as a Dino project, it's going to think that the entire thing is a Dino project, and instead of having one red, we'll have all red. All right, so let's see if we have some customers. So if we refresh this page, and then look in here, we have some customers. Cool. All right. So we're wired up to Stripe. So that's good. So now we need... See, this is, from memory, this is quite a frustrating thing to get from the Stripe library, a list of all of your different products. Because I think there's some stuff that exists.
Can't you just change it to products and see what happens? Products.list?
We can.
Is that wishful thinking?
Let's see. Well, the Stripe client is very well typed, which is very nice. So we can say products, which is what we wanted to get back, and then we can see what we can do on that. Yeah, maybe we can just list them.
That's right.
And let's just pass. Just call this data for a second, and let's pass in that to here. So then we could say const data equals use loader data, which is a function that we get from Remix. So use loader data will give us whatever we return here. So then we can console log this out in a nicer, more expandable version of this big object blob that we're going to get back, so we can see what's in it. So now, if we refresh it, we get our data back from Stripe. That has a data property on it, which is an array.
Sweet.
We have our 3 products. Oh no, it does have a name. Okay, maybe this is...
Yeah.
What doesn't this have? So what would we need? We would need...
Pricing data? Does it have the pricing data?
No, maybe that's what it doesn't have. Yeah, right. That's what it doesn't have. So it has the name, but it doesn't have any of the pricing stuff. So if we want that, we have to go and get, I think it's prices.
Oh.
So now if we refresh, you'd think, oh, awesome, we have all of our pricing stuff. But then we look at what a price has, and a price has the currency. So we'll need that. We'll need it to be USD. It has our amount. Ooh. So yeah, amount in cents. So we need to remember to times that by 12, 10, 100. Times it by 100.
Divided
Let's
by
just
100.
times it by a random number.
Divide it by 100.
Keep it interesting.
Yeah, we'll pick a random number. We'll do math.random and randomize our prices every time. But what it doesn't have is the name of our product. And so we could hard code it, but then we're kind of like hard coding this relationship between our stuff in Stripe and our stuff in our front end. So we probably just want our front end to be as dumb as possible and just say, go and get me the products from Stripe and the prices from Stripe, because then everything's in sync. Because if we start doing messy things and having some state over here and some state over here, then we will forget that we went and changed the price of our product, or we changed the name to super cool product. And then it won't reflect correctly in our front end. So we need to do this annoying thing where we like combine the two, which seems like something we shouldn't have to do. I wonder if I just haven't played around with Stripe enough. But in the past, what I have done is I grab a list of prices, and then I think this gives us back data, doesn't it? So we want to rename data to prices. And then we need to go and get a product for every single one of those prices, which means that we're doing like an n+1 kind of query where every single price. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a small amount of prices. We're not going to have thousands and thousands or hundreds and thousands of prices. We're only going to have 3. So let's not preemptively go down the optimization route. So basically, we want to put
cache
together
it and call it a day.
Just what?
Cache it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But then what if we change one of our prices?
Oh, we just wait a few minutes,
That's true. All right. So then we want to map over each one of our prices. And for each one of those prices, we want to do something. So we want to go and get the associated product. So if we say product equals await Stripe. Oh, look at that. Except not price. Oh no, price.product. Yeah, that'd be it, because I think we had a product. So this is the product ID that this is associated with. So this will get us our product. We're just retrieving one particular product. We could just make one request and go and get all of them and then do a mapping of them. That would probably be more efficient if you had huge amounts of data. But since we're just doing 3, we can just do it like this. Cool. This now needs to be an async function, which means when we map, we're actually getting back a collection of promises. So anytime we declare an async function, we immediately get like the type that returns is promise, and we need to await that. We can't just say await prices.map, because that doesn't make sense. We're not telling it to resolve those promises. We would just we get back nonsense. So what we need to do is we need to say, well, we have a collection of promises. So we want to trigger all of those promises at the same time, which is actually more performance. So this will actually, it'll send all of the requests at the same time to Stripe. So Stripe will be serving 3 different requests at the same time. And then just as they come back, once we get all of them back, and if they've all resolved successfully, then we will have a collection of whatever we return from here. So if we return a new object, what do we want this to have? I guess we want an ID, which can be our price.id. So really we want like most of the stuff that will be coming from price, and then the only thing that will be coming from product will be the product name. So let's say we have a name that's set to product.name, and then we'll also need probably, well, what are we displaying on the front end?
Should we just
we're
call
displaying
it price?
Yeah, price. Probably want to display like a currency or something next to it, just so people know that this is the price in USD. And then the interval that it's, I guess it's all on a per monthly interval. So we probably don't need to pull that back. But that is one of the fields that we get back, is the interval of our subscription.
Right.
So if you did have different, if you had a system where you had like monthly or yearly, like if that's how you broke up your standard and pro tier. If you said that monthly you got charged like $20 a month, but then yearly you would only get charged $150 or whatever. So there's a discount for yearly. In that case, you would care about the interval, but in our case, we don't. They're all monthly. So we want to pull back the actual price. So this will be the price.
Oh, Copilot knows it.
It does. I think it's it's price dot unit amount divided by 100. So again, that gives us our dollars instead of our what's the
Cents?
Possibly null. Instead of cents. So we could say, well, if this doesn't exist, then we just want it to be 0. It'd be interesting. I guess our free plan, it would still have a unit amount for 0 probably.
I think you need to move the double question mark right after the unit amount and put some parentheses around it.
Ooh, all right. So we either want to get the unit amount or we get 0, and then we want to divide 0 by 100 to get 0.00. Yeah, that's right?
0 divided by 100 is still 0.
Oh yeah, I know how that works. I remember that.
I feel like if we didn't have a unit amount, should we throw an error to make it more professional? But I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good point. If we don't have that, then none of this makes sense because all of our essentially it means there's bad data in Stripe's end. So we should throw an error. Yeah. That's a good call. So if price dot unit amount, if not price unit amount, we want to throw new error. Perfect.
Oh, nice.
And so now we should just be able to say we should have a price amount and we want it to be divided by 0. I mean, divided by 100. Don't divide it by 0. Oh, God. We got a whole new error. Big error. Scary error.
What's that first error?
So price.product. I'm assuming it's saying that it might not be.
It's not a string? Yeah, I think we can just add like as string. Or
like this?
I just want to see if there's anything on product. Can you just do a dot right after price.product dot? No. String, that's fine. It'll work great.
All right. What are we doing? All right, we've got a price and we wanted a currency. So they're all in USD, but let's bring across the currency from Stripe just in case we did want to add other ones for different currencies and do some internationalization. But yeah, for now, we're not gonna worry about that. So this is one big map over each of the prices, and then we're getting a promise back from each of those. And so when the promise resolves, it will be this. So essentially, we'll have an array of this kind of object, this shaped object. So that's what we're going to get back from our promise.all. So we are going to call this one, it's a collection of all of our prices and all of our products. So essentially, it's our different payment plans. So we can say this is plans. So once all of these resolve, we'll have an array of these ones. And then that is probably what we want to return from. Yeah, we'll put it in an object.
Await, or I guess we don't have to await, huh?
Oh, which one?
Should we await the promise all?
Yes, we definitely should await. Good call. Yeah, so again, if we didn't do that, we would just get back a collection of like an array of unresolved promises or pending promises. And so we want to wait for all of those to resolve. And then we get a list of all of our plans. And then that's what we're sending through, sending back from the loader. We then get that out of our use loader data hook. And then we want to console log it just to make sure that we didn't make any big mistakes, which we did. So
we can take a look at the
have a unit.
Oh, sorry. Oh.
So we're getting this error. So I'm just going to console log out our price here so we can have a look and refresh.
That's going to be in the terminal, right?
Good call. So we have a price, and we're saying give us price dot pricing data. It's unit amount. Is that not what we had? Unit amount? Maybe not. Yeah, unit underscore amount. Unit underscore amount.
Because it's a 0, it's
Oh, right, it's falsy.
considered false. Yeah, falsy.
Good call.
Hmm.
Is there a way to check if something is just undefined or null? Like we've got this if you're doing like a ternary thing, but is there a
Yeah.
way to just...
What's the JavaScript way of doing that?
Oh, actually, does not. I
feel like that's still gonna be
What am I talking about?
false.
All right. If unit dot price amount equals undefined.
We can check if it's a number or if it's not a number. Would that work?
Yes. If do we
Type of?
isnan?
Oh.
I'm scared of using isnan. I don't know why. This will be our price. Price dot.
It is a number though, right? I think future
Not
highlight
isnan.
in chat.
Yeah.
Right?
Just in future highway in the chat, equals undefined should do the trick.
Okay. But won't that only work for undefined? Wouldn't it be equals null or equals undefined? So it's...
But we're only concerned about if it's not there, right? If it's 0, that's a valid unit price.
Yeah, so I was thinking we can check if it's a number. I mean, if it's not a number, we can throw. But
then you'll have to wrap it in. You have to go not isnan and then wrap it in the number constructor. I think it's much cleaner to just say, is it undefined? Because if it's undefined, It's not a number. Like, what else could it be?
But what I mean is if we actually get null, but we probably won't get null, we'll just get undefined, right? Is that what our error was saying?
There's still one more error there.
There's still
Scroll
one more
down
error?
maybe, or... Yeah, so you need the question mark like that one in the first example.
Right. If, whoops, this one equals undefined, and we want to do this stuff. So now, oh, no, we still got red. Red? What are you red for? Object is possibly null. Yeah, see, this is what I was saying. So here we're explicitly checking for undefined. But if we loosely checked for undefined, then null or undefined would be cast to undefined, right?
I prefer to explicitly cast to undefined. So maybe parentheses, question mark, undefined. So if it's null, it becomes undefined, and then we'll equal undefined. No.
So put a parentheses around price.
I'm making it as explicit as possible and saying if it is explicitly undefined or it is explicitly null, then we want to do this.
Sure, that works too.
Otherwise, we want to keep going. Cool. So now we shouldn't have any errors. Everything should work magically well. It does. We have our 3 plans. And so each of these is an object that has an ID, a name, a price, and a currency. This one's $9.99. This one's $4.99. So this is interesting because it's coming in as sorted based on what am I trying to say? It's coming in sorted based on the order that they are in Stripe. So if we were to change them in Stripe, they would change. Whereas we would always want it to be like left is most basics, then standard, then premium. So we probably want to sort this. So after we get back all of our plans here, actually we could just chain on. Let's not chain on. All right, let's say const sorted plans equals plans dot sort. sort gets an A and a B passed to it. And then we just want to say A.price minus B.price. And so this is going to give us all of the plans in, I'm going to say unsorted plans and make this one plans. So I don't need to change what we're putting back there. Unsorted plans. Cool. So let's have a look at the order. If we refresh. So now the first one is always going to be our 0, 1. If we reversed this, so if we said B.price minus A.price and refreshed, then it would always be the other way around. Just a little trick with sorting with JavaScript. This, yeah, or not, probably not just JavaScript, but
Wow, this is a nice trick.
yeah, I think it's because you're meant to return -1 or like a minus value if it's if it should be on the left, or a plus value if it should be on the right, I think.
I
So
always have to
basically,
Google that whenever
if
I
one of
do
the-
sorting. I
if
never
one of
can
those is
remember
higher
it.
than the other one, I don't know. It just works. I just always mess with which one's A and which one's B and check which one's sorting the correct way that I want. But yes, all right, cool. So we have our plans, and so now we can iterate over them to display them in our lovely panels here. I'm just thinking we have some custom styling here, so we might need to work that out in a second. Also, we need to know what our different limits for things are as well. So it's not going to be as clean as just mapping over it, but that is okay. So I think
we can for a first iteration.
For a
then we
first
can come back
iteration,
with the limits. Yeah.
All right. So I think all of this is our payment tiers. So if I just comment this out, we shouldn't see anything here. And so now, actually probably, all right. I just want to comment out, wait, everything inside. So we'll keep that outermost div, which wraps all of them. Actually, we've got another div which wraps all of them. And then we have each of our individual divs in there. Wait, no, this one. All right, okay. All right, so we want all of these ones. And now inside that div, we want to take our plans and map over each plan. Can this just do everything for me? Let's see how it goes.
Oh, yeah.
This is just giving me flat side of center forever. This is not working. All right, let's just display a div with h1 that's set to plan dot name. Close this div and do that. Oop, that. You can explicitly have an any type.
Does Remix not let you type that properly? Like in the loader function, you can do the return type of thingy.
Yeah, that fancy trick. I think it was in here, and it was like return type of.
Yeah, and then you pass in another one, type of loader.
Type of our loader.
Does that work? Do you need to set the loader function to type loader function?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, up on the, this one.
Loader function. And then
we're still running into problems, are we?
Any. The red's gone, but it's explicitly any. Use loader data.
do we not specify the type right there, or like with?
Do you mean down here?
No, I mean like up there in the loader, right where you had the cursor to use like
Oh,
those
we need just
brackets.
awaited. We need to unwrap the promise. So we probably yeah.
Mm.
And then maybe we remove our loader function loader type thingy that we just added. Hooray!
That's magic.
Oh,
So magic. That's very cool.
TypeScript. We got there.
That's
in the end.
almost as easy as it is to type your return types from Supabase with the brand new Supabase the CLI. We can generate our types, and then when you create your new Supabase client, you can specify all of the types, and it's even easier than this because you don't need to specify it every single time. Check that out. There's new type generation stuff in the latest Supabase CLI and also Supabase JS. All right, so we have our plans. They're nicely typed, and they are even displaying nicely. Well, I mean, not nicely, but they're displaying on the page. So we probably want to apply all of this styling slowly, one by one, and not break everything.
What do you mean slowly? Are you not just going to try and drag like one whole thing, one of those whole blocks in there?
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
Call it a day.
We should be able to do that, right?
Should be able to. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So one
feel like-
of these into here, and that outermost one needs a key of plan.id, and then we need a plan.name. Oh, look at this. What's giving me this auto prompting? This is amazing.
TypeScript.
Who
TypeScript.
knows?
I love you, TypeScript. So nice.
Yes,
we do want
come up with a great suggestion.
Would we now move the panel to its own component? That would be a good idea.
Probably, yeah.
And I think we definitely should, because then we can do some like number formatting and stuff.
Okay. Let me just make one of them. It's going to be per month, and this one is going to be. Yeah, that's still a purchase button. That's good. All right, cool. And then, yeah, we need to fix this up. All right, let's move it into its own component.
Let's see if we render anything out.
Sure.
You keep the suspense.
Woo!
Nice.
That's awesome.
I feel like we can keep it this way, and I was gonna say let the community do it, but I feel like Jason's just gonna do it, and I feel bad now.
Yes, and also Icon33 is asking what we are learning today. We are SaaS-ifying our journaling application. So we have built a journaling application that allows us to write in a journal entry for each day. And today we are integrating Stripe into that so that we can charge people on a monthly basis for how many journal entries they can put in. So we've got this nicely rendering. The only thing was this pink border around the outside, and then the number of entries for each of those tiers. So I guess we probably want to create like an object, like a key map thing for mapping a particular level of plan. No,
I'm actually going to go ahead and agree with Tyler here, and we just move swiftly on and let someone else fix it. That's not Jason. Don't do it, Jason.
No, I mean, sorry, I mean the amount of entries, because that's something that. Oh, you mean that as well? Well,
let's just yeah.
Well, should that actually come from the back end though? Should we create a?
I mean, we could put it in like as metadata in Stripe or stuff, but I just want to buy the thing, you know.
All right.
How many entries?
All right. Yeah. All of that.
Alice is just excited to get into Dino stuff.
Yeah. All right. we can save that for another time. So we'll add a to-do here. Community to-do. Add styling for preferred plan. Add custom styling for preferred plan. And then update the number of entries per plan. Cool. And then we can, sorry if this hurts you, Jason, but we can take all this and go delete. Cool. So you want to be able to buy something, huh? We can buy something. What do we want to do next? So we want to, I guess, be able to actually charge a customer for one of these. So when they click this purchase button, we want it to do stuff. So how do we want to do this?
Stripe checkout, you click the button, we make an HTTP request, it returns the URL for the Stripe checkout endpoint. We redirect to that URL. User signs up for the new plan. We have a webhook from Stripe hit another function that notifies us of a plan change, and then the user's plan is upgraded.
Awesome. So do we want to?
No, maybe.
We've got 40 minutes. Yeah, no, that sounds perfect. So
we'll get half of that done.
All right. Well, how about we start with the kicking them off to a checkout session to be able to purchase one of these plans. So that will firstly require us to install Supabase JS, I think. Yeah, because we want to send them to a different session. So we will install.
Don't we have Supabase JS? What do you? Oh, Stripe JS.
Stripe JS.
Yeah,
we'll get
confusing
there.
me.
At Stripe / Stripe JS is the package, and so this is the one that you use. Whoops. 404 not found. That's because it's Stipe. Stipe doesn't exist. There's an opportunity. Build Stripe's competitor at stipe.com. So this is the package that we use for all of the front end stuff. So anything that we want the front end to do, and then anything that we want to do on the back end, we use the Stripe, like just Stripe package. And so yeah, two different packages that do that have kind of different responsibilities. So let's import. I think it's let's see.
Saying load Stripe.
Main
all
function.
lowercase. I mean, sorry, Stripe. S is uppercase. Yeah, that one.
So we want to do this after they click the button. So the button, so all this is going to happen on the front end. So it won't be in the loaders or actions. It will be when a user clicks the purchase button. So this one will need to be.
Do we not need to generate the checkout URL on the server side though?
Oh yeah, good call. So we will need an action to generate that.
Yeah, we can either do it in action or we can do it in another Edge function because we've already got all of Stripe server-side stuff set up in our Edge functions. Up to you.
It's up to you, Alaister. Which would you prefer?
I don't want to set up Stripe again. Let's do an Edge function.
Okay. All right. So what
we could then call our Edge function from an action if you want to still keep it within Remix land. Like that's allowed. There are no rules.
All right, cool. Let's go with let's create an Edge function. So I guess we can say Supabase definitely. Does anyone remember the Supabase
Supabase functions create. Functions new,
functions?
maybe?
I think it's create.
I think it's
Let's
functions
go
new.
to
No,
the documentation.
Supabase functions new. It was new.
There you go. What do we, it's like reading the documentation is like reading an IKEA manual. You know, you're not supposed to do it. You're just supposed to, look at it and try and work it out.
All right, Supabase functions new. And then we want the name of our function, right? So this is going to be create Stripe checkout. Create a new function. It worked.
Nice.
Excellent
Magic.
work. All right. So
we can probably copy a lot of code from our other one. Cool. Or you can make a helper file or something, but it's probably copy paster is fine.
Well, all right. So we're going to want to create Stripe, and we're going to want to create a Supabase client, right? Because we're going to need. Will we know who the user is that's requesting this?
Luckily, our Edge functions give you some information about who's doing what. I think it comes through somehow.
That's awesome.
But
Okay, cool. So in that case, we wouldn't need to do a lookup to Supabase, would we? If we got past.
We might need to do a lookup to grab the user's.
So we'll get the user ID, but we'll need to go and get their Stripe.
The Stripe ID from their user data table, maybe. So maybe just copy all of that stuff at the top, including the imports, and we'll see how we go.
Let's just do it all. All right. So we want all this stuff. Do you remember how to get the user ID?
No.
All right.
And now I've just said I can't look at the docs, so who knows? And we don't have TypeScript here either.
Can I go request.json and look at what we get as part of the request? That looks like what we were doing with the record. Let's see if that works. All right, we don't actually need all this stuff. All right. And the way that we invoke a function is we need to host it. -h. Serve. Look at that. Serve.
I think it will be easier just to deploy it straight up because they deploy so fast. We can just test in prod because, it's like, that's another good way of developing, definitely.
So deploy function name, of course. So we need to call this create Stripe session. Not module not found. File example happy days. Oh, we need to be in the functions folder. Examples happy days. Yeah. All right. So change
the Supabase folder
into Supabase, then do that one. Didn't we put this in the config.toml?
No, I think it's installed in .temp.
.temp. Right. You can find your project ref in the dashboard.
Look at just .temp project ref should be right there.
I just mean, why isn't it detecting it and putting it in? All right, module not found. Supabase. That's
now
it's in
checking for the
functions folder. Module not found. Functions, create Stripe session, index.ts. That's what this is. Did I spell this?
No, I think you're supposed to do it from the root folder, like the one above the Supabase folder.
Up here.
Yeah, that's the one where we tried to do it from the beginning.
Play. Create Stripe checkout. Oh,
Was there a spelling problem?
Did I spell something incorrectly? Whoops. And then that is a typo on my part. We're going to say working true. And yeah, we'll leave it as application JSON. That's fine. All right, cool. So now we have this function, which we can't call just by going to it because we don't serve GET requests. We only serve POST requests. So we need to post to this from our front end. Is that right?
Let's do it.
All right. So we're going to turn this into a button. And then on clicking this button, we're going to handle subscription. It's going to be a function that we declare up here, handle subscription, which is going to take in an event. But we need to know which subscription. So we're going to do some fancy bubbling here. We're going to say, going to create a function that returns a function. And this first function is going to get passed an ID. And so this is the subscription ID that we're currently clicking because we've got 3 different buttons. So we need to know which one we're clicking. And then we can just pass that in here as a handle subscription plan.id. So we'll call this plan ID just so we don't get confused. And console log out our plan ID to make sure that we haven't made any errors yet. And yeah, TypeScript, you're fine. All right, let's run our application again. No, why aren't you working? There you are. Okay. So if we click on purchase, cool. We see our plan ID for that one. We click the other one, we get that one. Click that one, we get that one. Cool. So we've got 3 different plan IDs. So now inside here, we would want to call our Edge function, which is totally still in the clipboard. That's awesome. All right, cool. So
Can
we want to
we
make
use Supabase JS though?
Oh, yeah, right, of course.
I don't know if we can or not. Let's find out.
Let's find out. Supabase, bring that in, dot functions, right? Dot.
Is it invoke?
Control space.
Invoke. And then
I think you
name.
give it the function name.
So that was create stripe in a string. Create.
Make sure to spell it wrong as well.
Checkout, I think it was. Actually, we can check at the end of this, right? Nope, we can't.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. Who knows? All right. When we successfully deployed it, it was create stripe checkout. And it's all spelled correctly, All right. Oops. So what else do we need here? Nothing. All right, cool. So
we need to pass it a plan ID, right?
Yes.
So in that second object, control space to get body. Yeah, nice.
Look at this.
And then, yeah, just plan ID, I guess.
Unexpected. Extra one of these. Oh, yeah.
Is it the random URL you've got just sitting there?
Yeah.
Where you on that one, TypeScript? And our plan ID can be any string. And we have
the other one I'll allow an any.
Actually, there's just an event, right? A button event.
I don't think it would. Yeah, but it's the particular one from React, and who knows?
Why wait, we can just do this. What are we talking about? We don't care about the event. Why don't you like this? String is not assignable to type string.
JSON stringify that object.
Oh yeah.
So this is like a normal. No, sorry, not just the plan ID, like the whole object, because you might want to send like some. We basically let you control what you send over to your functions. So in this case, we want to send over just JSON. Nice.
Cool. So now that probably returns us a promise, right? .invoke gives us a promise. So we can say const, and I'm going to assume we maybe get data or an error, and we await calling this, which means this needs to be async. And then
The next one needs to be async, not the first function, the second function.
yeah, of course. And
Someone pointed out my mustache.
It's getting longer
love it,
every
I love
week. Amazing.
I'm glad you noticed it. Vicus. Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, I
I
forgot
wish we
how
could
to
zoom
shave.
in. Can we zoom in on? Can probably do one of these ones.
I have to zoom in on yourself.
Whoops. Nope. How do I
Sorry.
do this? No,
Let's
it's
go back
important.
to developing.
It's
Very
important.
important. There we go. There he is.
Hmm.
Look at that. Growing. We'll do a mustache check-in each week. We'll see how it's going.
Yeah, when's it going to go, Tyler?
I don't know.
Is this the new thing now? That is a
I
weird
haven't
look.
decided.
Not the
I
mustache,
decided that
the
I'm
string
gonna
layout.
let it go for a month.
Okay.
And I
Nice.
think it'll be a month tomorrow. So
I think
no.
you should keep it. No, you should keep it all the way through to Movember. Like doing Movember is always fun.
Is Movember a worldwide thing?
Is it? I just
they
assumed
did it in
was.
the United States.
They do? Okay, right.
They don't do it in Japan.
Okay, right.
Yes,
I did
they
it
do,
last
Tyler.
year.
You're going to start it.
I did it last year and grew a really awful handlebar mustache. Like imagine this whole beard, but just like you remove the rest of the beard and it's just this like really bikey looking handlebar mustache. It was great.
Nice.
All right. Let's check if this is
Vicus,
working.
sorry.
If we click one of these, we are printing out our plan ID, which makes no sense because we're not console logging that anymore.
Did you
refresh? Purchase. Cause error. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, do we just need to set the cause headers in our function response?
Do we?
Oh, you mean on
we
our
need to do that?
in our function?
Maybe.
Oh, that just. I love you, GitHub Copilot. All right. Let's see. So then we would need to deploy this again.
Yep.
Come on. I say come on, but that's incredibly quick and deploying to the entire world, which is pretty impressive. All right. Let's refresh this and get rid of that and click purchase.
I have a feeling we need like some more
the API key.
cause headers.
I think we need to send across the API key from here. Maybe that's part of. Sorry,
No, I think that should do it for us. I think it's cause. So let me. Slack's on my other window. Let me send you something. Let me send you something, John. Here we go. Yeah.
Whoops. The button was over the top of the other button.
It sounds like an excuse to me.
I wasn't actually trying to hide what I was doing. All right. Alaister. Oh, we're doing the whole big one.
I don't know. This is just random stuff I found on the internet.
That's good. Let's copy.
If this doesn't work,
all right. Let's see.
I'll just shout at Inian to come and fix it for us.
I have I don't know, but do we really need to? Sorry, never mind. Sorry, forget it.
Wait, does the function,
Yeah, it's
does
deployed. Run dev,
but does
let's
the
go.
deployed value change each time?
Probably not.
Okay. Let's just, oh, right. No, it doesn't matter because we're using Supabase JS. So we're doing it by name rather than URL. All right, let's see. Has it magically worked? Let's click this one. Drum roll. Oh, I did.
Nice.
All right, that seems like something that maybe we should add as like a helper.
Hooray for random stuff you find on the internet.
Yay. So what does this tell us? Did this give us anything? No, because we deployed it. So our deployed function lives over under Edge Functions, and then create Stripe checkout. And then if we check our logs, bad resource. Okay, this is a promise. All right, so in our Stripe, our create Stripe session, here I'm console logging out request.json. I'm gonna do this thing. That thing that makes us all uncomfortable awaiting something within a call to a function.
Did you deploy?
No. Of course not. Let's deploy that function. All right. And let's run our development environment again. Refresh our page. Clear out those errors. Press a purchase button. Ooh. 500.
To cause errors.
Nah, this time we got a 500, so it's
so sad.
Oh yeah, I should have clicked
You don't need to refresh the whole thing. Yeah. There's the button right there.
Sorry. I'm your average user. The button needs to be bigger. Just make the button like twice the size of the other buttons. Unexpected end of JSON.
Let's see.
See, what doesn't make sense is that in our other one, we are not awaiting a call. Oh no, we are. We are awaiting a call to that. All right. So that's giving us back request.json. So maybe we'll just say like const data equals this thing.
Do we need to, in our invoke call on the client side, tell it that we're sending over some JSON, like set some more headers?
Probably. Maybe. Yeah.
Like, what are the other options
like
in
headers
here?
And like that.
Yeah, that one. And then is there one more parameter for like response type or something on the invoke call?
That's what comes back, right?
I mean, after headers. After headers.
See that?
Who knows? We're returning JSON?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, nice. All right, cool.
So we will deploy this one more time, and hopefully we'll get our data, and we can see what who's actually making this request. So come back over. We run our development server, and purchase. Go. 500. Ooh, look at this. I can just click this refresh button and not refresh the whole page. Create Stripe checkout.
Is it not that one?
Update? Or is it that one? 1143. Actually, yeah, it could be that one. So it looks like we're getting the same error, unexpected. End of.
Can we just log the whole request object without trying to pass it as JSON first?
All right. This is that classic thing that we're saving minutes of reading the docs time by spending hours trying different things and
I'm very tempted just to ask Inian to come and fix it.
yeah, just jump on the stream. Oh, we got a okay.
Nice.
No 500s. Oh, that's good.
So we should be able to take a
now
look at what the
refresh. So there should be a new not error at the top. Awesome. Okay, so we have a request and it has lots of things on it. Cool. So it doesn't look like we have like a request dot. We have an API key. So we can perform actions in Supabase based on the user. But it doesn't look like we have a like who the specific user is. I don't think. All right. So
Yes, I think, yeah.
So why can't we do
rec.body
this?
or rec? Yeah, that looks good. But that
Let's
doesn't
try
work.
the
That's what we
exact
had.
same thing again. It'll work. Like the definition of madness is trying the exact same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Let's see. Oh, it's exactly the same. All right. That seems strange.
Who
so
would
maybe
have
we're not
guessed?
passing across the body properly, but yeah, no, we were.
Should we go back to the remix code where we send the request?
So create Stripe checkout. So that's what we're calling. Then we're passing across an object with the body set to our plan ID. All right. Supabase functions invoke. And that's exactly what we're doing. Passing across the body, stringifying some stuff. Supabase.functions.invoke.
I'm seeing one example that doesn't set the application type header. So it just says return response type JSON, and I don't know. It feels wrong.
Yeah,
but
this one.
Content type. I mean, sorry.
If we get rid of all of
feels
that
wrong.
and we just go back to not this one.
Yeah, let's minimize all things. Let's comment out all of the creating of the Stripe client and the imports. Just get rid of, slim it down.
All right. So now we're just returning a response. And I've taken away the headers and all the other stuff from here. So now if we redeploy this.
Did you take away the imports, or did my video just freeze?
I
Andino?
did take away.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, commented out all of the
froze.
imports.
Oh, you can't
You
take
need
out serve though. We need serve.
I've got serve there.
At the very
Oh,
top?
right. Okay, I getcha. And look, I've combined my two statements. So we deploy and then run the development server again. Okay, so that's working.
Working through. Did that one pass the JSON?
No, we weren't doing anything. Like we were just passing across the body. So then you do this and not console log it and see.
I don't think that will make a difference.
All right. So we know what this request is.
No, because we haven't set up the typing.
But yes, it definitely should be request.json. Like that's what every example in the docs. No, not in the docs. Functions invoke. So if we go Supabase Edge Functions. Only got 8 minutes left. We promised to SaaS-ify it. We must SaaS-ify. All right.
The only thing I can think is maybe try upgrading your Supabase CLI.
That's what I was thinking.
Brew upgrade Supabase.
So we can do brew upgrade Supabase. Oh, there actually is a new version. That's good. All right. Well, maybe this one can just keep running dev, and then I can keep doing all of the other stuff here. So
I
now
like that a lot.
Supabase. Sorry?
That sounds good. Yeah, that's the new version.
And then rather than create Stripe customer, it was create Stripe session. Error bundling.
Create. It wasn't session, right? It was create Stripe something. Checkout.
Checkout. How many times can we make the same typo? The answer is many times. All right. So let's refresh this one and click purchase. And we're getting a cause error with a 500.
Oh man, every time. Shall I see if we can phone Supabase support?
Should we go back and check out the raw request object that we were getting in the logs?
Yeah, that's what
right there.
we did though. I'm going to see if support is available.
Support
Did it actually seem totally fine though? Should we go back and recheck it?
check?
Yeah. We probably should have it in the console log though, right?
Yeah. Oh, you mean the actual?
Yeah. It's I don't know. There's something wrong within that request object. So let's like copy and paste it. And
was making for anyone that didn't get why Alaister said he was going to check with support is he's currently staying with a whole bunch of people from Supabase. So they've all gone to Bali and they're hanging out, but maybe still asleep.
Supabase support is busy.
Okay. Maybe there's a real
no on another call, log unfortunately.
So this is logging out the
this is just the error, right? Do we have the raw request object?
Yeah, so that's what I've logged out. Oh, you mean in here? You want to?
Yeah.
In the metadata?
No. So why are we getting there? Because I thought JSON parsing was causing the error, and we're not parsing JSON right now. So
yeah, that doesn't make any sense. We've commented that out, and we're just console logging out the request object.
Yeah, can we check the network console and just see what goes over when you send a request?
Create Stripe checkout. So it passes across the JSON body of
JSON, yeah.
plan ID, and
shows the headers.
the headers are content type, application JSON, and we're passing across those two, like the API key and the authorization.
And
So
what's our
everything
content
looks
type header set to?
Content type is set to request headers. Content type is text plain. So we can send those over again from here if we want. Headers. So now when we send this over, oops, that's the options. When we send over our post, the request content type is still text plain.
Is that the response header? I think that's the response header you're looking at.
Oh, right.
Like there's two sets of headers right on top of each other.
This is the request headers.
Request headers. And was the content type still text plain?
Yeah.
Huh.
Let's just clear this out. Refresh. Click the button. Look at the post. Look at the content types application JSON now. That's fine. The request is there. The response is working true. So this shouldn't be an error anyway because it's getting the response true. Hey, we just didn't know we did refresh. Who knows?
Why
We have 2 minutes.
Why don't we copy and paste this entire thing to VS Code, try to format it as JSON, and I don't know, see if it works.
Yeah, but we can't see the body, which is what we care about, right?
Wait, body's not included in that thing?
Yeah, no, because you need to pass it out.
So that's when the body used thing flips from false to true.
Oh, okay.
I am lost. So let's try one more Hail Mary time to do exactly the same thing. Redeploy our application, and if it doesn't work, we'll leave it there and we'll work out what's going on off stream, and we will tell you what our silly mistake was.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something
of the next one.
Something stupid. Well, yeah, we'll all facepalm collectively at the start of next stream.
That's right. Yeah, no, this one's giving us a 500 error, and yeah, and then if we refresh over here, we'll probably be getting exactly the same error. Something is going on trying to pass that JSON input. So yeah, we'll work out what's going on here, and we will.
Do you know? I think it's still a cause error, a cause header error. I was trying to say those two things at the same time. Like expose headers, allow headers. It's going to be something cause related. It's always something cause related.
Well, why don't we say access control allow headers star?
Should we try sending a post request using a curl command at least?
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Let's try that at the end and see if that works. And
we can pick it up. Can you go to the console and it gives you a curl command?
Yeah. I just want to try one more time. Let me click the button. I have to click the button. No. All right. All right. Let's try a from the.
I just want to comment on one suggestion from Future Highway. So, in JavaScript, it's a relatively recent syntax, right? You can, when the key and the value, key and the variable that contains the value has the same name, you can actually omit the colon value part. You can just pass in that variable right there with an object, and it'll create a plain ID colon, whatever is inside the plain ID object automatically. So we saw that plain ID was being properly sent over request, so we're guessing that's not it. But curl command, it succeeded.
Yeah.
Nice.
Logs,
Okay.
Jon, logs.
So
Logs. Yeah. Curl command works
Yeah,
perfectly.
it works.
that
So basically, it's cause.
It is cause for frustration. Yeah. So
should we
something.
try to remove the cause header and see if the JSON value gets logged?
This one?
Yeah, so let's remove that entire thing and let's console log the, I guess, data, which we are doing, and see if that works.
Wait, in our big thing of those cause headers, were we allowing the content type header?
We did star. I just added
no, access allow headers star. Is that allowed? Is that valid?
Seems like it should be valid. But we can go back. And what did you want to add to it?
And then we were allowing content type. I have no idea then.
Redo. Right. What are we doing?
Yeah, let's try to deploy that and see if the JSON value gets printed. I feel like we already tried this, huh? And it didn't work, right? Or did it work? And
Let's see. Oh, do you mean from the
yeah,
Remix app?
so let's call it from Remix app and see if on the function side there's no error.
We're just getting cause straight away if we take away all those cause
right
headers.
But on the log function logs end, is it error? Does it get logged as error? Oh, it does. Okay, never mind.
Yes. All right, I'm calling it. We will work this out.
There is actually, if you go Supabase examples edge functions, like in the Supabase examples repo, I'm just seeing, oh no, maybe not Supabase examples, Supabase/Supabase on GitHub.
Do you mean on GitHub?
Yeah. And then examples, edge functions, Supabase functions, shared, cause.ts. And there's just two simple shared cause.ts. Those are the two ones that the actual Supabase repo is telling us to send. So maybe let's try what we had before, but with just those two headers. Like maybe we should have been reading the docs basically instead of trying to do our IKEA build it yourself.
Maybe. Cool. And then we redeploy this one.
And if this doesn't work, then yeah, we'll call it.
So from
wait, did you deploy it or did you just curl it or did you do both?
I deployed it and I curled it.
Wow.
So let's check that worked from curl and we're getting what we expect, which we are. So now let's try from the front end. Cause.
Nope, let's go home.
Home time. Call it. The happy hour is getting too sad, so we need to stop. No. We will work out what the silly little thing that's going wrong there is, and we will get back to you. But thank you so much for joining us for another Supabase Happy Hour stream. We will continue building this out over the next stream, maybe the next couple of streams, and I want to get it to a place where we have like a fully functioning like payment tier enforced app. I think this is going to be sick. If you want to hear about more awesome stuff that we're doing, head on over to youtube.com/c/Supabase. This is our YouTube channel, so anytime we're going live, you can get notified if you subscribe and then click the little notification bell. We do these streams weekly, and we also do a whole bunch of other videos, and Tyler does awesome Supabase tips along with Andrew. yeah, lots of cool content coming out. So make sure you subscribe to that. If you come and give us a follow on Twitter at twitter.com/Supabase. And look, I even follow Supabase, so you should as well. And if
I
you
don't
go
think
over,
you're sharing your screen if you're wanting to show that you're following Supabase.
all right, start again. Start the whole stream again. Everyone, rewind. All right. All right. Come follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/c/Supabase. Click the little subscribe and notification bell to hear about all the cool stuff we're doing. Head on over to twitter.com/Supabase and give us a follow. As you can see, I'm following Supabase, so you should as well. If you go over to discord.supabase.com, that will forward you to an invite to our Supabase Discord, where we have 8,441 members, which is very,
Keeps
very
growing.
cool. Awesome seeing that grow every single week. So come and join the fun and chat with people who are also building cool stuff with Supabase. If you want to hear more from us, you can follow Alaister at Alaister Young, twitter.com/Alaister Young. If you like Tyler a little bit more than you like Alaister, you can go and follow him at Shukert Jr. on Twitter. And if you want to follow me, I am Jon Meyers _IO. Thank you so much for watching another Supabase Happy Hour, and we will see you next week.
Thanks,
for watching, everyone.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.